The crisis rocking the leadership of the Ijaw Youth Council has worsened, that's in Nigeria, as the factional president of the council, Dr. Alaye Theophilus, insists that he remains the president of the group. However, Jonathan Lopobiri will not have any of that, as he also claims to be the leader of IYC. It will be recalled that the raging crisis of confidence among stakeholders of the group followed allegations of misconduct by the former president, Timothy Igbifa, who allegedly usurped the parts of the Council Electoral Committee. Joining me now to discuss the crisis rocking the Ijaw Youth Council and how the group has been going about resolving this is the faction leader, Comrade Alaye Theophilus. It's good to have you on Arise News. Comrade Theophilus, if you can hear me. Now, observers will be wondering what has become of the IJC. Okay. Very good. People will be wondering what has become of the IJC over this bickering regarding the leadership of the group. So, who is the authentic president at this rate, and who is Jonathan Lopobiri?
Thank you very much. I am Dr. Alaye Theophilus. I am the authentic and the only president of the 9th NEC IYC worldwide, because the election that brought me on board was the election that was conducted by the ELECO chairman and other members, and the flag of office was handed over to me by the outgone president Timothy Igbifa. Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Theophilus. Now, what is the role of the Ijaw National Congress in this election? I understand the other factions have received their certificate of return. So what is the status quo right now?
Thank you very much. You know, IYC as a noble organization that is humbling but every Ijaw youth in Nigeria is a noble organization that is being guided by Constitution. And within the provision of the Constitution, there is practicing age bracket. As enshrined in the Ofinama Constitution and the Ataba Constitution that brought in the Alaye-led NEC, stated very clear that participatory age of IYC is between 18 to 45. And before the election will held, when the NECOM was formed, it was confirmed, I believe, that some persons that have been promoted or based on age factor that have been lifted to INC were members of the ELECO. And the president, the past president, Timothy Igbifa, had a series of petitions. So on that, pre-elective convention was held, and those overage persons were removed. But to our greatest dismay, or to my greatest dismay, these overage persons that have participated in INC based on the fact that they are now INC members came back because they wanted disunity in Ijaw Youth Council, and they said they are also still members of IYC. And we told them that no, that is not the provision of the Constitution. As a noble organization that is being guided by Constitution, we operate within the confine of the Constitution. So we told them that no, that there are practicing age limits. And anybody that is above 45 cannot be in the ELECO. You cannot also be elected into any sensitive position or any elective position. So that was the stand till stakeholders intervened, because with look of thing at before the election was conducted that brought me on board, there was two divisions of the electoral body. The one that was headed by Solomon Orang, who happens to be the ELECO chairman, and other ELECO members from the various zones. What actually transpired was that the past president, Timothy Igbifa, made it clear that he wouldn't want a transition process that will be challenged in court and the entire process is going to bring back to zero. So by so doing, he called a pre-elective convention where all those things were sorted out. Well, anyway, as law-abiding youths, the state government and some other stakeholders intervened, and they said, let us call for a unity convention. Both parties came together. We shifted ground that, okay, let it be the way the stakeholders want it. But on that resolution, they made it very clear that from this other part of the LECO, 50% of the delegates will be given to them because stakeholders sat and made those selections, and 50% of the delegates will also come from that side, since we are all shifting ground to accommodate, bring unity for the peaceful conduct of the election. So when we get to the convention ground for the proper election to take place, these other elders that are already in the INC that want to bring disunity among Ijaw youths said they are not going to shift ground, that 100% of the delegates that is coming from them is what they are going to use for the election. And we said that means this group of persons are not serious because they want to divide the Ijaw nation. And we pull out and went and conduct our own election that followed the guidelines of the Constitution. So whatever thing that we said the other people are doing are completely illegal because it's unconstitutional. They are not operating within the confine of the Constitution. And as is enshrined in the Constitution, it is only the president that has the right to open the convention and also have the right to close the convention. Mr. President did that, and I was elected and with other executive members. And certificate of return was given to us, and we were sworn subsequently. So I don't really understand what is Lukbaburi Jonathan and his people that are parading themselves is claiming to be. That is not the practice in IYC. IYC is a noble organization that is being respected in Ijaw land and the entire Niger Delta. As the fourth largest ethnic bloc, our activities are pronounced, known to everyone, and we are peace-loving people. But what is happening presently in council is that some persons that doesn't love peace, development, and growth of Ijaw nation have infiltrated the system, because we believe that the operating companies, the IOCs, always love this divide and rule pattern, and I believe that those are the persons that are some of these companies are trying to use as mercenaries to keep IYC off balance so that they will have their way.
All right.
In my led ESCO, the ninth neck, we won't permit that, and we are going to unite Ijaw nation. Ijaw nation have spoken, Ijaw youth have spoken, and I am the authentic elected president of the ninth neck. Thank you very much.
All right, Alaye. Unfortunately, the problem is still lingering. And of course, we haven't heard the last of this knock by a long chalk. Now, still on the issue, there's allegations of misconduct by the former president, Timothy Igbifa. Can you shed more light on that? You've already explained some of the intricacies and the roles he performed. Maybe the opposition are still not entirely convinced of his lack of culpability in all of this, alleged, mind you, in all of this scenario. So how would you explain that to us? What has he done to, get more criticism from the other camp?
Thank you very much. You know, it is a common thing in Nigeria. Once you are elected into power, so many persons really want to benefit from you. So many persons just want personal funding from you. All their problems becomes your problem. And IYC is not a profit-making organization. It's meant to serve the people. 70% of those persons you see that is criticizing the past president, Timothy Igbifa, is as a result of not getting heavy envelope from him. And I keep on telling them, no, that is not how it is. If at all Timothy Igbifa was in that kind of, exhibited such kind of character, why would they allow him to rule till the completion of his tenure? Why is it that they are now complaining because during the transition process? Why are they complaining that, why are they bringing all these challenges when the transition process is already? Someone that's ruled or carried out his tenure for a period of 3 years, 2 weeks to the expiration of his tenure, group of persons are coming that the president, if he is not competent, why haven't the fifth parliament at that time, 2 years to his tenure, 2.5 years to his tenure, impeached him with the same things that they are saying? Why is it that 3 weeks to the expiration of his tenure, during the transition process, is when all these crises are coming? That is to tell you that some group of persons that doesn't have Ijaw nation at heart has infiltrated the system. They don't want unity. They don't want peace. And we won't allow that to happen. Timothy Igbifa have exhibited character. He has exhibited competence. And he told them from the beginning that he is ready to transmit power before the expiration of his tenure. And that is what he did. Anybody that is complaining that Mr. Peter Igbifa didn't perform to expectation should come and present documents. Peter Igbifa, the past president, has done very well. He was able to call a convention where the ELECO that will transmit power was formed, and everything went peacefully. They keep on telling him if he doesn't want election to hold. He came, he called the convention open. Let me give you for example. On the day of the election, this is the same group of person that doesn't want peace, doesn't want the growth of a Ijaw nation, told every aspirant and delegate that accreditation is going to take place by 11 a.m. at Peace Park. Everybody mobilized to Peace Park for the accreditation process. Getting to Peace Park, none of them that is opposing Peter Igbifa was there, except the ELECO chairman. Till 12:30, we had rumors that they were already at the venue of the election. What are they doing there? Is that the place that they told us that they want to carry out accreditation? We said, okay, for the process to continue and we get success, everybody move back to the venue of the election. Only for us to get there, some group of persons gathered themselves and was doctoring the delegate list to favor themselves without the ELECO chairman being present. So we asked them, this thing is not done. At least 50-50 delegates have been submitted. You call your 50% of your delegate, the other side present their 50%. Everybody goes in. We are all sons and daughters of a Ijaw nation. There is no Igbo man, there is no Hausa man that is participating in this election. But with their nefarious tendencies, with their negative tendencies to bring division in council, Mr. Peter Igbifa waited for them for over another 2 hours before they came up, and he told them that, okay, let them bring the delegate list for the true accreditation, and they were nowhere to be found.
All right, Alaye, if I may come in, please, if I may come in. Yes, you've articulated your thoughts here, but you know, the IYC is meant to be looking out for the people of your region. So how are the people taking this conflict development? Yes, that is where we are very, very concerned and worried, because the past executive that have just gone, that was led by Peter Igbifa, before he came on board, there was 2 factional parallel governments, and the Ijaw nation at that particular point in time lost a lot of things. But Unity Convention was called, and Peter Igbifa came in. And we were believing that the transition process of Peter Igbifa will be smooth and fair. Only for some mischief makers to just make what we don't even understand. So we are really worried, and I believe we are the authentic, there is no division. We are the authentic neck that have come on board, and we are the ruling, and I'm the president, and there is no division. Anybody that is operating is just deceiving itself. Thank you very much. All right, Alaye, what is the position of the council on electoral committee on the matter within the IYC? You know, this electoral committee that conducts the election itself. What is their position? You know, what are they saying over this issue? Yes, that is what I'm trying to tell you. The electoral commission, as enshrined in the constitution, is the ELECO chairman that will preside over the entire process of the election. He is to announce the results and declare and present certificate of return to whatever person that have come and won. And that is what we did
what is what he did exactly, and that is what transpired in the entire process. Now, what they are saying is that the Eleko chairman didn't follow what they were trying to impose on him. But he did what it was enshrined in the constitution. He guided himself with the entire electoral guidelines, and that was how we came on board. So we are the authentic, and we are the only executive members that have been elected into office for the period of 3 years.
All right, Alaye, finally, hopefully you can do this in a minute. Now, Governor Aduye Diri is not sure who to support at this moment. So why should he be put in such situation on account of all this, conflict imbroglio?
My point of our governor is a law-abiding. In fact, he's a peace builder. He's a council player, and he understands the integrity of the electoral process that brought us on board. Our governor is not confused. He knows that, and he is working with us because we are the original and the only executive that have come on board. There is no confusion in that area. The governor knows the direction, and we know very well that the governor is working with us. There is no other executive or anywhere that the governor is. No, there is nothing of such. We are the only people that are on board. We are the persons that have been legitimately elected and sworn in. The flag of the council has been given to us, and other supporting documents that during the transition process, the president have handed it over to us. So the governor is not confused. He understands what happened, and he knows very well that we are the authentic and the legal and the legitimate executive council that have come on board for the period of 3 years.
Very good. On that final note, Alaye Theophilus, Factional President, Ijaw Youth Council, many thanks for your time.